Hello, students. Today I wanted to take a look at an example essay, an example research paper to be exact, and break down kind of the anatomy, the parts of an essay that you should see on a completed project here. So I wanted to just walk you through this. This is also a document that you can find in its entirety on Schoology in your resources folder if you want to revisit this and take a closer look. Okay. So the first thing that we're going to notice about the essay is that it is in proper Mla formatting with that header we keep talking about, with the page numbers that we learned how to add. Everything's in size 12 font, Times New Roman, and it's all double spaced as well. Okay, so that's what you're going to see here in this header and with these page numbers. Okay. As I go down, you're going to see a title here. Now, this isn't the most creative title. You can get as creative as you want. Hopefully, as you progress through high school, your titles will become a little bit more suited to each paper rather than just research paper. They're going to be specific to what research paper that you are writing that time. And then we get into this introduction, and everything in the introduction is labeled in green here to keep our focus. So our introduction consists of an attention getter, which is a few sentences long here. It consists of a thesis statement, which you'll see underlined here, and it consists of a preview of main points, which you'll see down here. Okay. You'll also notice that I've included a piece from a fact from my research, something that I found interesting in my research. And so whenever I include things from my research, I need to give credit to the sources that I got them from. So you'll see that highlighted in yellow. Anytime something's included from my research, I highlight the source, so the in-text citation or the introduction of a source in yellow. So you'll notice that as well as we go through this. So there's my introduction. You can pause here and read it if you would like, noting the different pieces of the introduction. I'll give you a second to pause if you need to. Okay, if you paused, welcome back. Let's talk about our main points then. You'll see with each main point, we have a topic sentence. And we talked about how to write a body paragraph, a main point in a different video. And so the elements of this, the explanation of how to compose a paragraph like this can be found in that video. But this is what it looks like in its context here. So I've got a topic sentence. I've got evidence or the support from your research, a fact from your research that I include here. And this one appears to be paraphrased. And then the credit here is given to this source that is highlighted in yellow. Okay, and then I have an explanation. This paragraph has more explanation and less information from my research because I felt like I had more to say about the importance of this main point of this topic. And then I continue on, and I do this another 2 times. So main point, main reason 2, and main point or main reason 3. And all of those are in, everything's in purple with all my main points here to help you kind of dissect this paper and look more closely at it. So again, you'll notice a topic sentence underlined. You'll notice evidence or support from the research that is cited and given the proper citation, the in-text citation that you'll see in yellow here, and then an explanation. And again, a topic sentence, evidence or support from my research, and an explanation. Okay, and then we get to my final paragraph, which is my conclusion, and it looks like I did hit my 2-page minimum and even spilled a tiny bit over onto page 3 here. Everything with my conclusion you'll see identified here in blue. And the conclusion, I have a sort of topic sentence. When you go into your conclusion, you're almost going to include more of a transition sentence. And so you'll see that I included another piece of research here that maybe didn't fit with everything else. But it does transition well into a review of the main points of my essay and a restating of my thesis. Okay, and that's underlined here. And then finally, I have a clincher or a closing statement, which is also a call to action. So my call to action is that it's important for her books to continue to be read and discussed to keep her influence alive. And it does provide some finality and conclusion to the essay as a whole. Okay. So again, you'll be able to find this whole document if you want to read it on your own on Schoology. And then you'll notice here that the last page of this document is the work cited. Now, it does start on its own separate page, so it might seem like a waste to you to have it completely empty here for most of page 3, but that's just how it is for Mla formatting. So your works cited is going to be its very own page at the very end. and I will be looking for that. You need to make sure that you include a works cited page. This is the only way to properly give credit to your sources, especially in the Mla formatting that we use in English class. So you'll notice I highlighted in yellow these names and then the title of this article, because those are my in-text citations. So you'll be able to go through and look and see where I got all of my information. We're connecting each of these citations, the complete citation, to the in-text citation of where each piece of information came from. And the nice thing about these complete citations, the reason we include a works cited page, is that the article Zora Neale Hurston is pretty general. I'm not going to be able to necessarily find the specific article just off of this information, but the entirety of this citation here, UXL biographies, the year, the database, all of that is going to give me a better understanding of exactly which source you got it from. This is the way to be really specific and purposeful in your citation. You'll also notice that the citations look a little goofy in how they're formatted, right? So instead of having each at the beginning of the paragraph, like we would normally write, is indented, and everything else is aligned to the left. In our works cited page, you'll notice that the first line is aligned to the left and everything else is indented, and that's called a hanging indent. This is a way to keep these citations completely separate from one another, so when you look at it, you can clearly distinguish one from another. And it's very easy to pick out where one begins and the next one begins after that one ends. So that's way more confusing than it needed to be, but that's why we do a hanging indent. These are going to be really goofy or tricky to try and do in Google Docs. What you have to do is you have to put your cursor on this line, hit enter, and then tab. But we can cover that more in class as well. So I just wanted to break down the parts, the anatomy, as it were, of an essay, so you kind of know how this is going to look. This is a basic essay here that brings it all the way to the bottom of page 2, top of page 3. So this is the same kind of length that you're shooting for with this research paper. If you have any questions about what we discussed in this video, just contact me on Schoology or send me an email and I'll get back to you. But that's that.